The issue of national security is still an issue that worries a lot of Nigerians, especially the situation in Plateau State, where about 106 persons are said to have so far been buried following the attacks on communities in the state. Let's get some insight on what is happening really on the ground. One of the lawmakers representing some part of Plateau State is going to be speaking with us on the program, being joined by the federal lawmaker in the House of Representatives, Honorable Dachang Bagos, who joins us from Plateau State virtually. Thank you so much, Honorable, for speaking with us tonight. Give us a sense of what is happening. The last time you and I spoke about this similar thing, or you spoke on China's television about the security situation, one wonders that maybe there will be an end to this kind of situation, but it does look like a reprisal or what exactly is happening. Give us a sense of why we're seeing these kind of incessant attacks. It's now becoming almost every month or every 2 months. What is going on in your state?
Yeah, well, actually, Shehu, it's usually quite unfortunate with what is happening. Majorly, two things to me, I've always put it on the table. Number one, the wrong diagnostic action of government. What government usually bring on the table has wrongly been diagnosed, because they have perceived the issue of insecurity as farmers' headers clash, bringing and proposing all the time grazing reserve, ranch, or whatsoever other issues that have been by government as a policy. But actually, that is not the real issue. Secondly, the issue of injustice. Justice have not even been given to people that have been killed in so many years. So the perpetrators will always continue doing what they're doing. So government have not diagnosed this issue appropriately. They have given wrong correlation to the issue of killings on the plateau for so many years that it is farmers' headers clash. But outrightly, which is not the real situation on ground. The situation on ground is a situation where villages and the real people that are landowners have been evacuated, have been killed, and have been chased from their farms. And these farms have been occupied for the past 15 years or so. A lot of lands and a lot of villages have been occupied on the plateau, and the victims have not gotten justice. Those that have occupied the land have not yet been evacuated for the real owners of the land to come back. So the wrong diagnostic nature of government on issues of insecurity and killings on the plateau has given room for issues to be where it is. If you can remember and recall, you hear the deputy speaker, even as it is, calling on government that there are nuclear cells of Boko Haram around some villages in Plateau State, especially Wase, Kanam, and even my own constituency in Jos South. But government have not taken such situations and issues seriously, but rather all we hear is that it is farmers' headers clash. We're going to give you grazing reserve. We're going to give you Ruga to address the issue. That is not the real situation, and that is not the real issue that has been causing all these killings on the plateau.
It's sad what is happening, and one will look at the fact that the lives of people being taken every other time. On the floor of the House, some of your colleagues are asking already for the sack of the NSA. Some are asking for the sack of the Minister of Defense. Questions are being raised on whether or not there's need for mercenaries to help and fight this battle. In your own mind, Honorable, what do you think could be an immediate solution or ways by which we can tackle this thing such that people's lives will not be taken any longer?
Yeah, to some of us, and again, looking at what has been happening is a total collapse of the security system, is a total collapse and understanding of how to address some of these issues. We have on the floor been able to proffer solution day in, day out. We have brought in motions. We have even been able to amend some of these bills and so on and so forth. So definitely, if people in charge of some of this security architecture are not keeping to the promise of what they have sworn and ought to protect life and properties of the people they are going to work with in service, definitely they have failed. And that's why you see on the floor, we have called for the sack of the service chiefs, which they were changed. The only people and the only person that have not even been sacked or in any way been reshuffled is the NSA, who is the security advisor to the president. And we have asked, what has he been advising the president in terms of insecurity in the country? And we have even asked, what is his qualification? We have even asked, how qualified and in ranking is he to be able to summon some of those generals that he is below in rank too? Because you know that in hierarchy, in the military architecture, most of hierarchy and ranking is very, very important. So what is and how is he really advising the president? So these are some of the issues that we have problems with on the floor of the House. And looking at what is the solution, because now we have resolved that look, government can no longer protect our people. There is no member on the floor of the House that has not at one point or the other come up with a motion of urgent public importance in terms of insecurity on the floor of the House. So if government can no longer protect us, if what we have been allocating to government on yearly basis in terms of appropriation, government can no longer account for what we have appropriated for, then we call for, look, everybody should defend himself. If you look at the statement of our majority, of the majority leader, and how passionately he spoke, we are all defenseless, that everybody should carry out, because the difference between you, an ordinary citizen, and the person that has been ravaging our lands is just a gun, just AK-47. So meaning that if all of us start holding guns, which they know that we already have what they have, so they cannot even come. So let's defend ourselves. We can no longer always tell our people that, look, do this, do that, go and do. When we are there to represent the people, we need to tell the people that, look, our hands are full with motions, our hands are full with resolutions, our hands are full with advisory notes to government, and government is not doing anything. So if government feels that what we have been allocating to them to be able to address the issue of insecurity to the police, to the military, and to paramilitary is cannot, or they don't have the expertise, then take this money and go and hire mercenaries to come and address this issue. If the US can send 6 SEAL marine officers to come and rescue their own, I cannot see the reason where hundreds of thousands of military officers, soldiers that are in the field cannot and will not be able to secure our territories. It's so worrisome.
Honorable,
we don't
there is a
understand what the government is doing.
in the case of Plateau State. If you can just summarily give us what that peculiarity is and why we're seeing these recurrence in Plateau State, and also give us your own update that what you have learned, because from morning we learned that several people have been buried, as of several people buried from that incident. What is the latest? What can you tell us? And what is the peculiarity of the situation in your own area?
Shagun, time immemorial of what has been happening on the plateau. First, there's an issue of ethnic cleansing, in the sense that a lot of ethnic groups have been wiped out on the plateau. First ethnic cleansing that has been happening on the plateau, a lot of villages have been wiped out and are being occupied by unidentified men, by being identified by people that we don't even know where they came from. And when you go search deep into them, you find out that they are foreign Fulani people that you don't know. They are not Fulanis that have co-inhabited with our people in many years, and government have not done anything with them. And one serious thing again, showing that when you look at the geography of some of these places that have been wiped out on the plateau, number one, you will see that those places have high vegetation area with streams around it, meaning that some people have very good interest in those special areas to be able to wipe the people there, so that either they have an interest for their cattle to be reared in those places because of high vegetation and the running of stream to 12 months in a year on that place in that very area. Two, the issue of mining. If you look at what is happening in Wase today, because of the high level of mining in those areas, those places, areas again, have been the people that are occupying those mining sites as the real original people that are from those places have been wiped out. The same thing with the mining sites in Rio, Burkinladi, and even in Jos South. If you check all those areas that people have been killed, most of them are mining sites, most of them are agricultural sites where we go to farm. So when issues like this happen, government will now come and say that it is farmers and herders clash. When you will not find any farmer at any point have any clash with any of these herdsmen that come and wipe them out of their lands.
So, honorable, what is, I mean, because, I mean, over 100 people per set have been buried today. Do we have any other updates? And what would you say is the solution? These are your people. You know them very well. You understand the situation. What would you suggest as a solution?
Sharon, at this point in time, the only solution is that everybody should defend himself. Because the solution that we're giving to government have not done anything. In the Constitution, we have the law of self-defense. So the only solution that we know now is that if government cannot defend us, if government cannot even bring mercenaries to be able to wipe out people that have been killing our people, if government cannot wipe out people that are in those cells, the only solution is everybody should defend.
Honorable, these people you are referring to, are they Nigerians or they are aliens? Are they Nigerians at all? These people you're making reference to?
There is always Sharon, there is always a security report. And one thing again we know is that there is no adequate, proper synergy among the security agencies. In the sense that DSS can be able to bring out intel. And when the intel goes out, it's either being intercepted in the sense of it's either my religious brother or on ethnicity ground.
No, but my question, Honorable, is that these people you said they are wiping and cleansing, engaging in ethnic cleansing, I mean, based on your claims tonight, are they Nigerians or they are aliens?
Well, Shaun, that it is left for government to identify who they are. But what our people usually see and people that usually come to our villages are herdsmen. And some of them are not people that we have coexisted with them. So, and definitely, whosoever they are, what we can identify as they are herdsmen. So whether they are aliens, whether they are Nigerians, it is government that has the responsibility to identify who came into our territory, to identify and tell us that these people that have come to kill our people, are they Nigerians or are they aliens? But what we can see and what we know, what some of our people have identified, they have identified a lot of them as herdsmen. So we don't know who they are. So these are issues that government will tell us whether they are aliens or who, but we know that we have been under this issue, that we see herdsmen in our villages. We see herdsmen in our mining sites. and nothing has been done. Some of them have been able to occupy our places for the past 10 years. And Sharon, if government don't take this issue seriously, these people have grand stand and master plan to wipe more villages. Alarm has been raised in May, even the one that happened in Kanam. The local government chairman in Lankan not raised an alarm. Even the present member, Honorable Gasby, raised an alarm. The deputy speaker, who is from Wase, raised an alarm. If people at that level, all of us will raise an alarm, nothing happened, what we say will happen actually happen, then who will you blame?
All right. We hope that something is going to be done now, because the lives of people have been lost every other time that these kind of incidents are happening. Honorable Dachong Bagos, a member of the House of Representatives, representing Plateau State in the House of Representatives. Thank you so much for your time tonight. And we wish safety for your people.
Thank you, Sharon. We hope everything goes fine.